So this is my first time doing this sort of thing, so I'm sorry if this video is messy or weird or... But, so before I get right into the topics that I was asked to talk about, for those of you who know me from Instagram, hi. For those of you who don't, my Instagram is at cryptids.cos. Yeah. So, again, this is my first time doing this sort of thing. I've never done this before. I've been cosplaying since 2014, 2015. And it's currently mid-2018. So, yeah, I'm glad to get to try this out. I don't know if it will be my thing, but it's fun to try new things every once in a while. So one of the big things that I was asked to talk about was tips for getting, like, tips and things to know for people just getting into cosplay, just getting into the cosplay community. In my experience, it's a great thing to be able to handle unsolicited hate in a way that is funny. Like, whenever I get hate messages on my telenym, I hit them with that, I can't find where I asked for your opinion, and stuff like that. I think that's a really fun way to be able to handle that sort of thing. I also think it's great to be able to learn how to look at your work, and even if you don't like it so much, be able to say, I did this, I made this, I worked hard on this, this is mine, you know, and be proud of that, even if you don't love the work you did, because knowing that you genuinely tried your hardest will make it seem a lot better than if you look at it and say, oh, this just isn't good. The cosplay community gets stigmatized very much in my experience. I think that we're made out to be, we're either undermined or like pinned as things that we really aren't. And that's something you have to be able to handle too, is people are going to say, oh, you do costumes, like you buy your costumes, it's just Halloween. It's like having the heart to sit down and say, yes, in a way, but there's a lot more to it than that. I personally find cosplay to be something that is at a higher level than just doing costumes, but a lot of people outside of the community don't understand that well, so I do personally like to just, you know, say, yeah, basically, but here's what's different. I think that cosplay is much more of a high effort. It's less of putting on an outfit and looking like who you want to be, and it's more becoming who you want to be for a short period of time. Like enveloping this character who meant something to you, who you like really vibed with. Like I feel like certainly, especially when I get into like Madoka or Nico, those are my two favorite cosplays of mine currently, finished cosplays of mine currently. I do feel like I step out of myself and step into the character, which I think is a lot of the fun of cosplay, is being somebody who you aren't for a short while. And I don't find it as, like, some people do use it as an escape thing, I think. I personally don't. I think it's really fun to be me, but I also think it's really fun to be other characters too. But yeah, that's something that you have to be ready for going into the cosplay community, is people are going to undermine your hard work. People really, really are. Especially, I think another way that that happens is that people who don't have a lot of followers will do a lot more work than somebody who will have a lot of followers, and they will get either the same amount of attention, or the person with less followers will get less because they have less people already looking at them. It seems cosplay is definitely a popularity game when it comes to attention, and appreciation. And that does have a lot to do with your work, and not your work, but like your looks, and are you going to cater to people, which, you know, is just how it is, I guess. I like to follow cosplayers who I vibe with on a personal level, who I think work really hard, who I strongly respect. But there are people who just say, oh, she's pretty, follow, you know? And that's one way that people are, and that's a perfectly fine way to be. I think it's okay to get attention for your looks. I think it's okay to, you know, be beautiful and to be noticed for that. And, but I do think that beauty is very varying and has a lot of different points to it that sometimes people don't consider. But, you know, I think my main thing for people coming into the cosplay community, or afraid to come into the cosplay community, is to be ready to not get all the attention that you're wanting all the time, and to realize that you're going to have to work really, really hard, and some people will not have to work that hard, and it's just how it is. You know, I wish that it wasn't that way, but it really is. And I think that you also have to be ready for what makes the cosplay community fun. Like, you have to also accept that people are going to love you, and people are going to stand by you, and people are going to support you, and people are going to do everything in their power to help you, people that you don't know. When I was at CalusaCon, and I was in line for my first cosplay competition, this was my first time doing a competition, my prop, which was a floating moon, I was Earthshade at the time, and it is held up by string, like a thick, almost fishing line, and that snapped. It just broke. It fell on the ground, and all the beads that held the moon in place just went everywhere. And all of these people who I had never met started scrambling, trying to find my pieces, trying to help me fix it. People that I had never met, and I feel like that is the true, you know, like, that is what the cosplay community is about, is us coming together and just being people who dress up as cartoon characters. You know, like, we're here to have a good time, and yes, there is a lot of negativity and stigma and bad things about the cosplay community, but there's so many good things as well, and you have to be ready to take it all in stride. You know, I like to focus on that part of the cosplay community, is the people coming together, and that just makes my heart swell. Like, it's so wonderful that, you know, people I had never met were scrambling, getting on the ground in these beautiful handmade cosplays. They were getting on the ground on their hands and knees trying to find my pieces, and I'm in full panic. It was just so, like, empowering. It's a sort of, I think there's a sort of brotherhood and fellowship between cosplayers, especially when we're around each other. I think that, you know, we see each other not as competition, but as friends. Even people we have never met. You know, and I think that that's the one thing that those are the two things that people getting ready to go into the cosplay community should be ready for, is that you're not going to expect what you're getting, and it's going to be so much better than you've been told it is.